It's Atlanta's #1 hip-hop station, Hot 107.9 at home for the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Of course, you know it's your folk, Be High Radio, shout it. Stepping in the building, I got my Southside partner in this thing, Mr. Collipark. What's good with it, boy?
What up, man?
Hey, man, feeling good, feeling great as usual, man. I mean, you done broke the internet recently, man, with that got doggone booty bounce pop. Tell me about it.
Hey, man, you know, I've been in my little hole hiding for a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I like to make music that make people have fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to figure out a way to get it back to the people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I did a record. I hooked back up with Ying Yang Twins.
All right.
You know, because they still doing a lot of colleges, young people who grew up listening to the twerk music. You know, twerking is bigger than it's ever been right now. It's commercialized right now. So I said, you know what? Let me go get them. And I hooked up with some young EDM DJs, and we made a record called Booty Bounce Pop.
That's right.
So I was like, you know what? Let's get somebody who is the face of the new twerk. It ain't Miley Cyrus.
Exactly.
So it's this chick named Lexy Panterra on the West Coast. She's a celebrity twerk instructor out on the West Coast. And actually, she just made the video, to be honest with you. My people got her the song, and she cut the video.
Whew.
And she put it up, and in 2 weeks, it had on YouTube, had over 4 million views. And across the net, meaning Facebook, across everything else, it had over 40 million views. And so it let me know there is still a market for what we doing. You know what I'm saying?
What was going through your mind though when you saw them numbers go through the roof like that?
Hey man, it reminded me of the Soulja Boy stuff.
Ooh.
Like for real.
Yeah.
Because she had a video up with Diplo and Major Lazer, that Lean On song that had over 20 million views.
Yeah.
That was just on the YouTube video.
That's right.
I was like, if we get a tenth of that, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it would do, because she does big songs. So when she put it up, I was like, we might get 1 million. Because the song, nobody had heard the song before.
Yeah.
But the way she shot it, man, she put it up and I saw the numbers keep going up. The first couple of days, it was like 100,000 a day. Then something happened over that weekend and it shot up like a 1.5 million, 2 million. So now it's like at 5 million.
Whew.
So that's just on the YouTube video. World Star picked it up and all that. So it just go to show you, if you got something real and organic, people will check it out.
I mean, speaking of real or organic, man, I mean, you've been holding down the A-Town for a long time, man.
Yeah, I be quiet with mine.
I mean, but no, I mean, you made them girls put a hump in their back, man. And I mean, I got to get straight to the hits because I know you ain't got much time, but I got to go to one of my favorite ones, man.
Okay.
That girl. Hey, man, that was one of them songs, man. That was one of them songs that when it came on, you knew what time it was.
You know what's crazy, man? I didn't think that record did that well for me, because I was coming off of Ooh Lord with that.
Lord.
Yeah, and so like after the success for that,
yeah,
that was one of the first videos that I know of that was shot on green screen.
Yeah.
We actually went to Chicago and shot that video back then.
Yeah.
But it just didn't make the noise. But then, like 10 years later, when people come up to me about DJ Smurf music, that's the song that they talk about.
Yeah.
That's my daughter's favorite DJ Smurf song.
That thing was a straight up jam, right?
Yeah,
there.
it was jamming, dog.
I mean, other ones, Party People, though, man. Yeah. Oh, Lord. I mean, how did that banger come about?
That was straight off my DJ stuff, man. Because that if you listen to the stuff that I put in that record, it was like pieces of records that was hot at the time. Party People, Tag Team.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Drop the Bass, Magic Mike was huge at the time, and so those elements were in the record. And so I was DJing on wax.
Yeah.
So I was a hot DJ, so I couldn't lose. That's how I started making beats, putting the stuff I was DJing in the beats, so I couldn't lose.
I mean, what was it that made you have that entrepreneurial spirit, though, going from being a DJ to saying, hey, man, I got to crank up this music?
It was just a natural progression, man.
Yeah.
You know, because, after a while, I ain't never liked to sit in one space.
Yeah.
You know, just if I'm under somebody, like I've had mentors, Edward J, King Edward J, shout out to Edward J and the J team, was a mentor of mine, but he wasn't doing things the way I would have done them. So when I see stuff like that, I start, let me try doing stuff my way. And that's kind of how it was with every step of my career.
Yeah.
Like I was a DJ, then I started writing raps. I wrote for MC Shy D.
Yeah.
You know, when I started producing for him, and then progressed into having my own label. Yeah. And I passed out flyers, book shows. I did all of that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't like the way somebody doing business for me or with me, I'm gonna do it myself.
That's right.
And that's kind of how I progressed.
I mean, breaking out the yin yang, man. I mean, what was that whole experience like, man? Because, I mean, that was kind of like a hybrid of the music that you had already been making, but you took that straight into the new millennium.
Yeah. I mean, that was Booty Shake slowed down.
Exactly.
It's now known as twerk music.
Yeah.
Whistle While You Twerk was a Booty Shake beat first. Mm-hmm. If you listen to the sounds I put on Whistle While You Twerk, mm-hmm. it was actually a Booty Shake Atlanta beat that I slowed down. Mm-hmm. And I rebeat the bass in the same pattern as Down for My... from Master P. Boom, 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 boom. That's how I flipped it. And if you really dissect that record, you'll see, because that's when No Limit was just killing at that time. And Booty Shake was dead because No Limit killed it. You know, nobody wanted to do it. So, and then the Hot Boys was just coming up, Cash Money. Yeah. And so I just, as a DJ, like I say, I fused all of that energy into one thing. So, and let me say this. That's the difference between twerk music and New Orleans bounce. Because I feel like we do twerk music. Mm-hmm. We didn't invent the word twerk, mm-hmm. but I think we kind of coined twerk music mm-hmm. through Whistle While You Twerk and Say Ay, Ay, Ay and some of those early Ying Yang Twins records. The twerk music has Miami bass influence, Atlanta bass influence, because that's where I come from. Mm-hmm. And then bounce music is straight New Orleans, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. It's a whole different thing.
That's right.
Our music is aggressive. Yin Yang, when you saw them rapping in them videos, go watch Get Low video when them boys in the barbershop scene. Mm-hmm. They meant that. Yeah. They might as well have been rapping gangster music, but that's how serious we took it. But that's the difference between twerk music and
what was going through your mind when you saw Ying Yang take off and that whole era just kind of flipped the music scene? Because, I mean, in the Atlanta clubs, when the Ying Yang did their thing, it kind of took the party scene to another level. We were partying, but they brought it back.
But it did, but it didn't. Because when bass music was popular here, it had that energy.
Exactly.
But then when we let all the other music come in and influence the scene, it slowed everything down. Yeah. So we took the old and put it with the new and met it in the middle. So the energy was still there. It just wasn't as fast.
How much hell did you catch trying to integrate that into what was going on at that time?
I took it. I took it. I took it straight to the strip clubs. See that? I caught no resistance at the strip club. None. I didn't even try to come to radio. Yeah. You know, matter of fact, radio came to me.
That's right.
That's how powerful Whistle While You Twerk was. Yeah.
Next, I mean, you whip out Soulja Boy out of nowhere, man.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me about that whole thing. I mean, you got a young guy doing the Superman all over the place. Kids going crazy. Yeah. What was that experience like?
I mean, you know, it's just trying to just stay in front of the curve. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I was just looking. I had my deal with Interscope at the time. But when I found Soulja, I was actually entertaining taking a job somewhere else. I don't talk about that. But when I found Soulja, I was like, I ain't taking this somewhere else. I'm putting this on Collipark. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I wound up signing him, and it worked out.
And that was one of the things that I wanted to ask, too, when you said that. Because I was wondering, I was like, what kept you from being a big major label exec?
Man, when you become a part of the system, dog, you lose your what makes you to me. I'm not. Some people can do it. I don't take orders well, especially if I don't respect your talent. I don't respect your knowledge. I can only sit there and listen to you tell me what to do for so long, and then it's gonna blow up. That's why I could never keep a job. I got kicked out the band when I was in high school. I got kicked out the basketball team. I never took authority, and I ain't gonna say burnt bridges. I just got out of certain relationships, even in the music business, because people who, like I have my own vision. Mm-hmm. You have your own vision, just like you do your show. Yeah. As much as I know about what I do, I can't come in here and tell you what's going on.
Hey.
And just like you can sit there and just, yeah, okay. You, soon as I walk out, you be like, man, Smurf crazy as hell. I ain't never having Collipark up here again. But that's how the music business is.
Yeah.
It's full of that. And just like you in here, you corporate, when you become a part of the system, you have to work within that system.
With the flow.
Right. And to me, the stuff that the greatness that I felt like I still feel like I can achieve would be smothered with somebody sitting on me, telling me what will work and what won't work, what I can do, what I can't do. You know what I'm saying? Just like Soulja. If I was looking for something to take into Interscope, I wouldn't have never signed Soulja. But I was looking for something that I just liked to take somewhere else because it wasn't on me per se. So, but once I found it, I was like, yo, this could work. This could go. You know what I'm saying? And so I kept it.
Now, when it comes to discovering talent and having that eye for talent, what is it that you see in artists that nobody else sees?
You know what? And this is, I was talking to somebody about MC Hammer. And it's like, you know, you ask somebody about Hammer now, all the rappers or whatever, they diss the hell out of Hammer now. But back then,
they were doing the dance.
Hammer was selling out tours. You couldn't keep a record of his in the store. So as whack as Hammer was in all of them areas, his key talent, which was entertaining people, outshined everything everybody else had to offer. So when I find my talent, it's kind of that same thing. I signed people who knew how to entertain. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the records that have worked for me, the acts that have worked for me, starting with Ying Yang Twins, they still work to this day. Their catalog is incredible. They got catalog like an old R&B group.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? They got 2 platinum albums under their belt, a near gold album, but their albums, we might have 4 or 5 records that people play on each album to this day. So even Soulja, people call him, you know, when they blame Collipark for, you know, for signing one-hit wonders. I'm like, what's the definition of a one-hit wonder? Somebody who had one song. Soulja Boy had Crank That.
Right.
Soulja Girl,
Church.
Donk, Kiss Me Through the Phone, Turn My Swag On, Pretty Boy Swag. Soulja Boy was the first artist to sell over 3 million singles on iTunes ever. We have multiple multi-platinum singles on him. Sold out the door. A platinum album out the door. So people talk. It's funny I hear, you know, people
sometimes they need to go and shut their damn mouth.
Just go look at go to Wikipedia.
Exactly.
Go Google it. The numbers are there.
Your mind though, because see, a lot of times people try to belittle greatness.
That's why I don't talk. That's why you don't hear me. Like I come and do interviews with people. Like we done chopped it up for a minute before we started, so I'm comfortable right now. But I don't argue with that. I'm still here after however many years I've been doing this. And I ain't never had to defend myself because my work speaks for itself. I still get checks off of the work. It ain't hype. It ain't YouTube numbers. It ain't world star clicks. It's real sales. You know what I'm saying? Now, we in a different day and age. Now, I understand that. So I'm talking about when that stuff matter, when record sales and stuff matter.
I say that to this day because when I talk to people about different artists in the game right now, I have to explain to them. I say, hey, man, when they sold 1 million records, they sold 1 million records.
Albums, not singles, albums.
You know what I'm saying? And that means that they have a real legitimate fan base that has not gone anywhere. That base is still out there looking for them, and they're trying to figure out where that artist is. And a lot of times, you know, they'll get smothered in the industry trying to get back to their fan base. Because this is the beautiful thing that I like about the industry, though, now. Whereas people would have to go through a label to get back to their fan base, you can go directly to them now.
And that's what we just did with the Booty Bounce Pop. We right back in the middle of it.
Exactly. How do you feel about how the game has changed to where, hey, man, I don't need... You know, you would have had to have a major to do $4 million anything back in the day.
I mean, I feel like we were a big part of that by signing Soulja.
Yeah.
I think all of this internet, as it relates to music, comes from that.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
So anybody who's doing anything on the internet as it relates to music can thank Soulja and Collipark. And I'm not saying that to be egotistical.
Yeah.
When we came, nobody knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we shot that, cranked that video like that. If you go back, we spelled it out. How I found him on MySpace, and he had trickery that he was doing in his marketing and all that stuff. He was so far ahead of his time marketing. You know, the music was a byproduct. So to me, that was Soulja's talent.
Yeah.
He was a hella marketer, and he's still doing shows to this day, and they had a record on radio, and that's my dude.
Yeah.
He ain't had a record on radio in I don't know how long, but he's still on the internet marketing himself to people who still follow him.
How do you feel like the city of Atlanta's changed from the time of bass music,
I don't know, man.
music to now, man?
I don't know, man.
Hey, you gonna have to talk about it, Collipark, man. You gonna have to let them know, because I mean, as a pioneer of the game, because see, like I say too, man, y'all caught hell trying to put the city on the map in the 90s. Then y'all dominated straight through the millennium, from the late 90s through the millennium.
Right.
And now I kind of sense that it's getting back to a 90s type of situation to where local music is being suffocated and smothered.
Wow, that's deep for you to say that.
Well, I mean,
sitting where you sitting.
Hey, I've seen it. I've seen it.
Right.
But then also, I got to say this, though, too. I get angry with my people because I want to help my people.
Right. Right.
And when I reach to help my folk and they give me some bull, I'm like, hey, man, go into that lab, give me a hit, and I'm going to stand with you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, it go both ways, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I think, for me, everything always started with the music. You know what I'm saying? And to me, when it gets away from that, that's when it gets complicated for me. That's why I say we're responsible for this internet thing, but now it's all about the internet. At least at the core of what we were doing, there was some music. There was a dance. It was something musical and music related. Now you got, and I don't want to get off the subject. But you got reality television. You got Instagram stars. You got all this stuff that don't have nothing to do with music, but it's thrown in our lane. It's all thrown in the music lane. So our community ain't what it used to be. It's about, I give it 30%, just to throw a number out there, actual music, and then 70% fluff, hype. You know, smoke and mirrors. You know, so that's why I say I can't. Look, I ain't gonna never be the angry artist or because I don't believe in that. It is what it is. I just don't mess with it. That's why you don't see me popping bottles with Instagram models and old artists who don't make music no more. Like I went into a club, I ain't gonna say the name of it, but I don't hang out at them spots that I was hanging out when I was making music because ain't nobody in there who make music no more. I don't get hyped when I see somebody who done got surgery done and all this and posing, because I done been there. You know, that don't do nothing for me. And I actually feel like an alien when I'm standing around it. Because I'm like, y'all excited for this? And I might sound mad now, but I'm not mad.
I feel you.
No,
I feel you.
I'm telling you how I feel when I go around it, so I don't go around it. I find myself going to dance clubs. Because why? Because they're actually in there dancing to the music that's being played by a real DJ and having a good time, but it all surrounds music. It don't surround, you don't see the cameras out and all that, people taking selfies and all. You see a little bit of that, but it's not, the scene, the party scene ain't about that. That's why EDM is as big as it is now, because it's still electric dance music.
Break down
Electronic
that EDM to me, because
music.
see, I've been hearing it. For me, that EDM is a slick word that I keep on hearing.
It's a commercial.
Up,
it's
and
a
it
commercial.
Seems like I keep on seeing folks running over there getting some money out of that EDM.
They ain't running over there getting no money.
What's going on?
Not like the people who over there getting money, they getting money. But we don't understand it.
Yeah.
We don't really. That's why we talk about it like we understand it.
Yeah.
John, the only one that went over there. John ran over there and he's still over there getting it. Lil John. Turned down for what?
Exactly.
So John was over there 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He didn't just wake up one day. Like
True.
John always been smart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So John saw what was going on before everybody else saw, and a lot of us still don't see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't just run over there and jump into that
Mm-hmm.
because they got it. It's like it's a brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's some powers that be. It's all of that over there.
Yeah.
So you can't just go in the studio and say, I'm finna make an EDM. That's what a lot of us say. Boy, I got this EDM. I got the EDM trash, shout. I hit people who know I'm messing with it now.
Yeah.
They hit me up with that. Shout, I got some EDM song for you, shout. I'm like, oh my God, man.
Oh my God.
They don't even know who Diplo is.
Yeah.
You ever heard Diplo? Oh no, shout. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, Diplo. Yeah. He
You
man.
may screw up the ground.
right. So, you know, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that it's not something that you can just run over there
Yeah.
and get money. You know what I'm saying? So, but I've been over there for like almost 2 years,
Yeah.
studying it
Yeah.
and making music. And so, like the Booty Bounce Pop is my first real. Like I've had releases on Denmark Records, which is Steve Aoki's label, and Mad Decent, which is Diplo's label. I've had releases with them, and so they didn't go very far, but that's just I'm paying
Learning.
dues.
Yeah.
I'm putting out records on somebody else's label. So, but you have to do what you have to do.
Exactly.
So if you're not in it, like, and I put out records with DJ Chucky. Like, if you know who Chucky is, then you halfway know what's going on over there. You might have heard of Steve Aoki.
Yeah.
And them, but like Chucky is like he really Dirty Dutch, like really in it. So I'm just saying, like the electronic dance music, and there's a whole bunch of sub genres of it. I just so happen to be blessed to be one of the co-creators or whatever you want to put it of twerk music.
Yeah.
Which happens to be a subgenre of trap, which is EDM now.
Yeah.
Trap is an EDM subgenre.
Yeah.
Trap to us is what T.I. rap over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's a really, like, you really have to get over in there and really take time to understand, you know, what's going on and stop saying I'm finna run over here and just do some EDM. It don't work like that. So anybody say that, but I'm gonna go over here and get some EDM. No, you ain't. No, you ain't.
Now, for a youngster coming up in the game right now that want to get into this hip hop game, man, what advice do you have for that guy, man? You got to break it down.
You know what? One thing that I've always found that has stayed constant through all the years for me is and it sounds so cliche-ish, but it's real. It's just stay true to what it is you do. You can let's look at Andre 3000.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He is one of the most revered artists in the world because he remains true to himself. I've never seen him, and he might could sit here and tell you some stories where he felt like he sold his soul or did something where he felt like he compromised, but we've never seen it.
Yeah.
It's never come off like that to us.
Yeah.
He's always remained true to his artistry. And so you can do that all the way to, you know, I always say this, and I'll say this. I said this on DJ Small's interview. The only artist that came out that I felt like I could have took their career somewhere else and people laugh or whatever was Trinidad James. When I saw it, I said, "Oh my God!" That was a cha-ching to me because it didn't have nothing to do. He was selling art.
Yeah, you were.
To me.
Yeah.
From the fashion to the sound, I never heard another record after that first one that sounded like it came from the first artist. And to me, that was the first thing that I would have. It's just stuff when I put my record man hat on that would have been so obvious to me that I would have done. And I would have just made him go watch the VH, is it VH1? Whatever they do, the unsong. And go watch the Sly and the Family Stone.
Okay.
And Sly Stone is Trinidad James.
You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied.
Slide Stone is Trinidad J. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If somebody who knew what to do with that, see, that's what I do. I ain't gonna name out no names. I don't do a lot of this other stuff that people actually own right now, because to me, ain't really nothing to sell with that. That's why we can't compete. You know how many records Adele just did first week?
3 million.
And this is no diss, but Jadakiss did 50,000. That's a big gap. Mm-hmm. People want to be entertained.
All right, now Smurf. I mean, now what about this BASSX, man?
Man, that's crazy. I got a virtual drum machine, a VST, that I teamed up with a company out of Seattle called Studio Link.
Yeah,
they make a lot of plugins for producers who might not can afford the big stuff. So they reached out to me, man, just from seeing some stuff on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because all the kids, the young adults now were kids when I was like really producing real heavy. So they were huge fans of my Miss New Booty and all that stuff. So they said, we want to team up with you and do a VST. Yeah. So we teamed up. They invited me to NAMM in Nashville this year. And we're making a VST called BASSX. Uh-huh. And what it is, it's a virtual drum machine. Now, eventually, in later editions of it, I intend to make workflow easier for producers who are coming from hardware. Uh-huh. Like hardware meaning keyboards and drum machines. Mm-hmm. Like for me, it took me forever to get used to making beats inside of a computer. Yeah. So my thing is, I want to make it easier for guys like me. Mm-hmm. I know older producers who had platinum records who don't want to go into the
trying to hear
right because they scared of it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, let me team up with these cats and make this. So you'll be able to get some of my drum sounds as well as it has a virtual sound synths and stuff in it too. So
well, see, I got to call you out though, Smurf, because it sounds to me like you got a slick Beats by Smurf going on over here. Is that what you really trying to tell me?
It's funny because when we cut the little spot, I was like, yo, that's what I had in my head. I had Beats by Dre. That's what I had in my head, man. So that's kind of my vision, and hopefully, I didn't want to, because that's why we named it BASSX. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to just rest on me. Mm-hmm. Like Mr. Collipark, VST, that's whack to me. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm endorsing it. It's mine. I got equity in it. Mm-hmm. But if I went away tomorrow, it could still live on.
That's right.
So BASSX is the name. It's BASSX. Ooh, BASSX. They have everything you need to make a hit record. BASSX.
I can dig it.
Yes, sir.
What's next for you though, Smurf, man?
We on this booty bounce pop right now.
That's
so
right.
Ladies, and I don't want to say girls because we on the hip hop station and we might have some teenagers listening. Ladies still want to dance. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like the music that I make you're gonna listen to when you're doing your homework. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? When you go to the club and when you in that mode, I make the best booty shaking music. I've always made the best booty shaking music you ever gonna booty shake to.
That's right.
So Booty Bounce Pop, which is myself, Ying Yang Twins, EDM DJ named Adam Pushers, and this cat out of New York called DJ Wavy. We all came together and just kind of put our own little spices to it. That's out now. The Lexy Panterra video, like I said, is at 5 million views. You can go look that up on YouTube. But the official video is out too. It's an anime video. It's pretty funny. It's a little nudity in there. So kids, it ain't bad. It's just like the LA strip clubs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it ain't that bad. But go check that out. Then I got a webisode series called Who's Hitting It that I just executive produced with Watch the Duck.
Tell me about that.
Well, actually, it's a webisode series. It's kind of like a Jerry Springer spinoff type thing, but it's hood. And it's called Who's Hitting It, and it's about people who suspect their significant others of cheating. Mm-hmm. And so we just did a hood webisode series.
Where can they find that though?
We're figuring out the partners to release it now. So it's not out yet. Okay. But when it is released, it's gonna be everywhere. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So shout out to Watch the Duck. They signed to Epic Records, and they're executive produced by Steve Aoki, T.I., and Pharrell. Ooh. And so they actually from Montgomery. And they saw that I was back doing booty shake, so they reached out and said, "Hey man, we want to do some of that old booty shake and put it with the new."
Exactly.
So the Who's Hitting It theme song, which is what we got, is a fusion of new age trap, booty shake, funk. It's everything. It's like a gumbo.
Yeah. I can definitely dig it. But Smurf, appreciate you coming through this thing, my dog.
I enjoyed it, dog.
Already, man.
It ain't very often I can do an interview with somebody I can actually talk to. We talking, but I can talk to you.
Exactly. I feel you. Same here, man.
Yeah.
Wish you nothing but the best and much success.
Thank you, sir.
Radio Shout. It's Hot 107.9, man. Let go.